Next, I want to go to my friend Tracy Etie from Louisiana. Welcome to the call.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to get to share with people tonight, especially if we have people here who are new to micronutrients. That's my passion. Although I have recently learned that there is something great to mangosteen as well. I have been a licensed nurse for 35 years, and most of the experience in nursing has been in an internal medicine office. And so I came from the medical world, and supplements were not something that I had been exposed to. Our family is very medically based here in Louisiana. We have lots of doctors, lots of nurses. I have a son who's very proud of, who is going to graduate in May from medical school. So basically, I have a strong medical background. About 6 years ago, someone invited me to a meeting in Lafayette, and I chose to attend because it had something to do with a product that might work for brains, or I was told it would work for brains. And at the time, my dad was suffering with Alzheimer's disease. My husband, Terry, and I went to this meeting. What I heard was phenomenal. The following month, we booked a flight to Mesa, Arizona. I didn't want to be the nurse in the family to put my dad on a vitamin, and then possibly he would have problems and, everyone would turn to me. We flew out to Arizona, and I wanted to speak to the doctors in the company. I remember speaking to one who was a family practice doctor, and the other one was an internist, actually. And they said, yes, your dad can take these micronutrients with his 13 different medicines that he was on. Blood pressure, vascular problems, he had diabetes. He was on Coumadin, which that was my big question. Can he take this with Coumadin? They said, yes, just make sure it's an hour apart from everything else. So we came home, and I had the sitters opening the capsules, mixing it up, the powder, mixing it up in pudding, and they would feed it to my dad. Within 6 days, by the sixth day, I'll never forget, it was a Sunday, the sitter called me and said, you need to come over here and see your dad. He was calling us by name again. It was crazy. He hadn't known who we were for about 5 months at that point. Basically, it was a wow moment, and oh my goodness, there is something to this. So I had started taking the product myself, I guess, just before my dad. What I believe it did for my dad for the remainder of his life, he was on the product for about 1.5 years. I think it helped to keep him calm. He was very happy. His personality didn't change, as I had seen with many patients, who had suffered with that disease. They would often get aggressive with family members or just mean to family members. But my dad was so happy, and I really do think it made a huge difference for me taking the product. My back pain went away. I had suffered for years, like probably about 20 years, with significant back pain. I had done everything to try to help it medically. I'd been to physical therapy many times throughout the years. I had chronic neck pain. I was told I had fibromyalgia. I lived in pain. I did everything standing up. I ate my meal standing up. I stood in the back of meetings that I attended. I was very active. I never stopped, but I can tell you the pain made me a much better nurse because it gave me, real empathy for my patients who were suffering. 7 weeks into this, the back pain went away. I was able to stop using the TENS unit that I used regularly. I used to haul cushions with me everywhere that I went. Ice packs, heating pads. I never traveled without a heating pad. I kept an old Suburban and would lay across that third seat to go anywhere. So the back situation that I had was really significant. I was able to resume doing lots of things like fishing and bike riding, gardening again. It just has been great. But even more than that for me has been the joy I've had in sharing this product with family members, loved ones, as well as people throughout our community. I could speak for days telling you testimonies. I know I'm supposed to just give my own, but I want to share my husband's testimony. So Terry is one of those people who is very physical. He's always out working in the yard. He cuts down major trees. He hauls things. He works out. He's very, very active. And what the micronutrients have done for him has, they've helped to keep him calm. I can tell when he doesn't take them. I can tell immediately when he doesn't take them. And usually I just say, are you taking your vitamins? And, he'll admit to not having taken them for a couple of days. And he'll get back on them. But recently, so he's been introduced to the mangosteen product. And this is a phenomenal testimony for me because the mangosteen is brand new for me. 2 weeks into drinking the mangosteen, and this was just one drink every day of the mangosteen as well as taking the micronutrients. But 2 weeks into it, I walked into the living room one day and he's opening and closing his hand over and over again. And so I questioned him, what did you injure your hand? And he said, no. He said, look at this. I'm making a tight fist. So he was a power lifter back in the days. He had for several years had a hard time closing his hand tightly, and it drove him crazy because he works with tools a lot and it was really difficult sometimes. But he is able to make a tight fist with his right hand. He's really happy about that. Also for him, he had taken Advil for years daily, on a daily basis, twice a day, 2 Advil twice a day. And I was always after him. Get off of the Advil. It's not good for you. You have a higher chance of strokes, heart attacks. They have studies proving that. I'm all about studies. With the brain sense, he was able to get off of the Advil completely, which has been great. If you're new to this, oh my goodness, I am so excited. These are stories that need to be told. We have some incredible products. We have something really worth getting out there and sharing in our communities.